So, Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord launched this week on both Quest and PSVR 2. Sadly, there's no mention of the game coming to Steam for PC VR headsets at the time of this video. I've been playing both versions of the game over the past couple of days to bring you this review, and throughout the video I'll be showing you a mix of gameplay from both the Quest and PSVR 2 versions. Rise of the Ghost Lord has two editions at launch, the Standard Edition and the more expensive Full Containment Edition. The latter comes with a bunch of equipment and avatar skins, along with a season pass with the promise of more content coming in the future. I should say right away that without a clear roadmap detailing new maps and game modes, I really don't see the value in the Full Containment Edition, but more on that later. I should also mention that although I recorded gameplay using the Quest 3, there isn't a Quest 3 enhanced version of this game at launch. So, Rise of the Ghost Lord takes place in San Francisco, with a brand new roster of Ghostbusters, ghosts, and equipment at your disposal. The story revolves around a fellow by the name of Gustav Hookfaber, who studied under the original Ghostbusters and has unwittingly unleashed the Ghost Lord and his minions in the city of San Francisco, and it's your job to stop them. If, like me, you're a big fan of Ghostbusters, you're probably going to be disappointed to hear that this story has a very weak connection to the original movies, and unfortunately, you don't get to meet the original Ghostbusters team or the latest Afterlife characters in this game. As a kid of the 80s that grew up with Ghostbusters, in this game, I really wanted to be part of the original team, in the original New York firehouse, taking on the original ghosts, like Slimer and the Librarian and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. The problem with any game that uses a big IP like Ghostbusters is that if you stray too far away from the source material, you're gonna upset the die-hard fans, and that's how I feel about this game. But let's move on. The game starts with a short solo experience that has you recovering ghost-busting equipment such as the PKE meter, ghost trap, and proton pack from Gustav Hookfaber's mansion, where you get to witness the escape of the Ghost Lord. After this, you're introduced to the new Ghostbusters HQ, which to be fair, I thought was very well done. There's a San Francisco tram cart that's been converted into a ghost container for trapped ghosts. There's a modified Ecto-1, although sadly you can't get in it. There's stations to upgrade your ghostbusting gear, along with a firing range and a mission selection table in the middle. From here, you can continue to play solo with a fairly competent AI ghost character, or with up to 3 other players in online co-op. I would say that playing with a team of friends or other players online is really essential to have a good time with this game. The AI companion in solo mode does a pretty good job, but the game just feels empty without other players. Thankfully, co-op crossplay between Quest and PSVR 2 players is supported with full voice chat, so you shouldn't have any problems finding other people to play with online. In the corner of the HQ, there's a couple of lockers, and here you can swap out your avatar. There's 6 in total, but like I mentioned earlier, sadly none of the original characters from the movies are available. You have these very Fortnite-looking avatars to choose from instead. The main gameplay loop in Rise of the Ghost Lord is to complete missions, earn money, spend that money on equipment upgrades, until you complete 42 missions in total, when you can then take on the Ghost Lord. When it comes to the missions themselves, there's 4 game modes that are played over a handful of maps. The first is called On the Clock. Here, your goal is to take down all the ghosts in the map before the timer runs out. This is probably the most boring and repetitive mode of the bunch. Next is Giga Trap Retrieval. In this mode, one team member has to carry a large trap of ghosts through the level, while the other players have to protect them or take it in turns to carry the trap. What I like about this mode is that the person carrying the trap will see these hallucinations that the other players can't see, which I thought was a really interesting and unique concept. Next is Exorcism, which is probably my favourite mode. Here you have to use the PKE meter to find ghosts hiding in everyday objects. Once you've found the object, you then bring it to the portal to exorcise it, and then take the ghost that was hiding inside down. And the final mode is Harvester. In this mode you have to repair and activate a huge harvester trap. You have to guide the ghosts into this huge trap to fill up the slime canisters, and then bring these canisters back to Ecto-1 to complete the mission. All of these game modes take around 10 minutes to complete, either solo or with a team. Taking down the ghosts in these game modes is pretty simple. The smaller ones you can just blast away, while the bigger ones you need to blast them to reduce their health and then leash them. Once they've been leashed, you have to pull them in the opposite direction so you can wear them out and then eventually get them in a trap. The main problem is that despite having different objectives in these game modes, most of the time you're just taking down the same ghosts over and over again in these small arenas, which honestly gets boring real fast. I would have much preferred more team-based action, moving through linear levels clearing ghosts, each with a unique ghost boss battle at the end. Think After the Fall but with a Ghostbusters theme and you're on the right track. Along with the lack of variety in gameplay, the game has no real challenge to it. Throughout my time playing the game, including taking down the final boss, and even playing the extreme missions which are supposed to be much harder, I never once felt like we were in danger of being wiped out as a team and failing the mission. If you get downed by a ghost, you can simply walk over to another player and revive yourself. Personally, I feel it would have been much better if you were downed and you couldn't move, meaning it relied on good teamwork and communication for a successful mission. Repetitive and easy gameplay aside though, one of my biggest gripes with the game is the ghosts themselves. Many of them don't even look like ghosts and resemble some kind of bacteria instead. Like, what's up with this floating head and these weird flying fish bones? Where are the iconic ghosts from the movies, like Slimer and Muncher? I do apologize for using Slimer in the thumbnail of this video, but it does kind of prove a point, that without these iconic ghosts, the game just isn't as interesting. Slimer is stated as coming to the game in the future in a game mode called Slimer Hunt, but that's only for the people that own the full Containment Edition, which is total BS in my opinion. Moving on though, if you pick up the Quest version, there's a mixed reality bonus game that you can find in the main menu area by pressing on the little bag of Stay Puft marshmallows on the ground. The minigame starts with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man ripping the roof off your room, which I thought was actually pretty cool. You then use a slingshot device to pick up the floating mini puffs, along with bombs to roast the Big Daddy Puff. It's a novel experience, but like most mixed reality experiences right now, it's a one and done thing that you're probably never going to play again, unless demoing mixed reality to friends and family. While PSVR 2 players don't get this mixed reality experience, they do get the benefit of eye tracking for better social presence, along with excellent control haptics and adaptive triggers. Also, the game looks much more detailed on PSVR 2, with better lighting and effects from the equipment, like being able to see scorch marks from your energy stream, for example. So, in conclusion, while initially I did have some fun with Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord, it got repetitive real quick. The saying goes, Bustin makes me feel good, but in this case, Bustin makes me feel bored. The new HQ is well done, the equipment feel and sound effects are spot on, but the story is weak. The lack of the original Ghostbusting team, the weird ghost design, the Fortnite-looking avatars, the lack of variety in gameplay and the repetitive missions just make it difficult to recommend. If you're dead set on trying the game, I would say wait until the game is on sale, or at least until there's a much clearer roadmap of content ahead that isn't just cosmetic skins. Some more interesting game modes and more interesting ghosts are urgently needed. Otherwise, players are going to be done with this game real quick, and the servers themselves will turn into a ghost town. But that is just my opinion after all. Please let me know what you all think of Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord in the comments down below. Are you a fan of Ghostbusters? Are you interested in this game? Or maybe the art style is putting you off? I'd love to know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you found this video useful, make sure you're subscribed for all my future VR content, and as always, I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers.